Thank you for joining us. I'm Kai Jackson.
And I'm Maxine Stryker. The blueprint has been a controversial plan since its implementation in 2021, promising to pump $30 billion into Maryland public schools to boost performance.
But the big question is where the money comes from and who will be impacted. That's a question everyone wants answers to. Tonight, we have team coverage on the state's budget issues. Mackenzie Frost is looking into changes to Maryland's tax structure in a moment.
And we begin with Jessica Babb and a potential solution to frustration over the blueprint in Carroll County.
School board members are hoping the Carroll County Commissioners will give them additional funding so they don't have to make some of the proposed cuts. And while we wait to see how the county commissioners respond, overwhelmingly school board members said state education mandates were putting a strain on the school system.
There's no way to cut out of this problem.
Standing outside the Carroll County school system.
They need to keep the school system functioning at the level that is acceptable to the community.
With signs up.
Cutting more staff will destroy our schools and will destroy our community.
It's really about our community.
Parents are protesting proposed budget cuts.
We cannot allow any more cuts in this county.
The cuts, which could impact nearly 100 positions, including school counselors and reading and math specialists. Class sizes would increase and other staff members would be reassigned.
I'd like to begin tonight.
School Superintendent Cynthia McCabe says that was proposed to meet blueprint education mandates.
Right now, we are trying to move money around within our system to get into compliance with that blueprint law.
But on top of that, there were other reductions proposed to make up for a more than $3 million deficit in the school system's operating budget.
They're all difficult decisions.
Two conversations.
We are experiencing an unprecedented budget crisis.
Getting intertwined into one in this Carroll County School Board meeting Tuesday.
I refuse to allow Blueprint to eviscerate our school system.
But instead of voting on cuts,
the yeas have it.
The school board voted to ask the Carroll County Commissioners for around $57 million. A large part of that covering the cost of the state-mandated education reforms.
I think all of us, Board of Education and the Board of County Commissioners, were hoping that we would get some relief from Annapolis for blueprint compliance. We haven't gotten that for 3 years. So now this is where the rubber hits the road, and this is where we have to move our funding around to meet those requirements.
Are we going to ask for $50 million every year? You know, what we need to do is fight blueprint. Again, do something about these silos or these buckets and say, you know, this is not affordable. It's not sustainable.
With a history of CCPS making cuts over the years.
We're at the point where it's no longer bare bones. We're drilling into the bone marrow. I am prepared to ask the county commissioners for whatever we need to do.
Would we have to make any of these cuts if there was no blueprint? And what did you say?
We certainly have the funding, wherever it is, to pay for these things if the funding wasn't restricted.
We have the funds if it wasn't restricted.
It was one solution from the school board, but they were clear, saying the blueprint's mandates are crippling the county.
We're looking at the state legislature holding a figurative weapon to our heads saying, you better raise your taxes. You have to comply. Where's the fairness and equity in that?
Earlier this afternoon, before the meeting started, I did reach out to the Carroll County Commissioners asking if they would be willing to provide more funding for the school system. So far, they've yet to respond. But depending on what the commissioners decide, in a few months, the school system might still have to make some tough decisions. In Carroll County, Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.